Socrates, known for his strict lifestyle, would likely awaken with the first light. His home would have been simple, perhaps a small unadorned room in a modest Athenian dwelling, possibly shared with his wife Xanthippe and their children. He would not have a luxurious bed, but a simple pallet or mat on the floor. Morning rituals, his morning routine would be minimal. He might splash water on his face from a basin, as running water was not common in private homes. There would be no elaborate bathing. He would dress in his characteristic himation, a simple cloak or mantle, which he was known to wear year-round, often barefoot, regardless of the weather. Breakfast, or fayin, as Socrates would have called it. His first meal would be incredibly simple. Ancient Athenians generally ate light breakfasts. Socrates might have a piece of barley bread, often dipped in olive oil or wine, perhaps a few olives or some dried figs. Water or diluted wine would be his beverage. Meat was a rarity for most Athenians, and certainly for Socrates, who advocated for moderation in all things. Walk to the agora. His primary destination would be the agora, the bustling heart of Athenian public life. He would walk, as was his custom, engaging with anyone he met along the way. The agora as classroom, the agora was Socrates' school and office. He wouldn't have a fixed schedule or a specific lecture hall. Instead, he would wander among the stalls, stowers, and public buildings, observing, listening, and seeking out individuals for discussion. Teaching and philosophizing. This was the core of his day. He would approach citizens, young aristocrats, craftsmen, politicians, merchants, or even foreign visitors and initiate conversations. His method, the Socratic method, or elenchus, involved asking a series of probing questions designed to expose contradictions in their beliefs and lead them to a deeper understanding of concepts like justice, virtue, courage, and piety. Examples of encounters. He might engage a politician on the nature of statesmanship, a general on the essence of courage, or a craftsman on the definition of beauty. His goal was not to impart knowledge directly, but to encourage self-examination and critical thinking. Know thyself. This was central to his approach. He believed that true wisdom lay in recognizing the limits of one's own knowledge. Disciples and admirers. A circle of younger men, drawn to his intellect and unconventional style, would often follow him. These included figures like Plato, Xenophon, Alcibiades, and Critias. They would listen intently, participate in the discussions, and learn from his unique pedagogical approach. Lunch, or ariston. Around noon, Socrates would have another light meal. This would likely be similar to his breakfast: barley bread, cheese, olives, and fruit. He might purchase these from a vendor in the agora or bring them from home. He would eat casually, often while continuing a conversation or observing the activity around him. Socrates had little interest in conventional Athenian entertainment like theatrical performances or elaborate symposia, though he was known to attend them on occasion and could hold his own in drinking contests, remarkably never seeming to get drunk. His entertainment was intellectual engagement. The afternoon would see a continuation of his philosophical inquiries. He might move to a shadier spot. His conversations could last for hours, sometimes attracting a crowd of onlookers. He wasn't paid for his teaching, and famously refused payment, distinguishing himself from the sophists. While not actively seeking political office, Socrates was a citizen of Athens and would fulfill civic duties. He famously served as a hoplite in several campaigns: Potidaea, Delium, Amphipolis. Later in life, he served on the bull, where he notably refused to participate in an illegal trial. As the day began to wane, Socrates might take a more contemplative walk outside the city walls. This would be a time for internal reflection, consolidating his thoughts and preparing for future encounters. Dinner, or dipnon. The evening meal was typically the largest of the day for Athenians, but for Socrates, it would still be modest. He would return home to Xanthippe and his family. The meal would consist of staples like barley porridge, called maza, lentils, vegetables, and more bread. Fish might be an occasional treat if available and affordable. Meat would be rare. Wine, diluted with water, would be consumed. Family life. While we know he had a family, we don't know the details of his interactions with them. It's reasonable to assume he participated in the typical, if simple, family life of an Athenian citizen. Evening reflection and reading. Socrates was not known for spending his evenings poring over texts. Literacy was not universal, and philosophical discourse was primarily oral. He might engage in further quiet contemplation or discussion with his family, though the focus would likely remain on practical and ethical matters rather than formal study. Early bedtime. Given the lack of artificial lighting and the demanding nature of his public life, Socrates would likely retire relatively early, preparing for another day of philosophical exploration at the dawn.